Hello, everybody, and welcome back aboard to Real Time Football. My name is Tom, and I'm going to bring you my Premier League Game Week 3 predictions here today, of course, in this live premiere, which should be premiering to you guys at 5 p.m. on Friday, the 25th of August, about 3 hours before Chelsea versus Luton Town, which is live with us, of course, the Real Time Football. I hope you're all doing well, and get your predictions. Chop up in the chat. It's game week 3 of the Premier League new season. And just before we continue, the FPL code, of course, is S2R8AC. I think you've run out of time to join it, but I've put the code up anyway. But this is my Premier League game week 3 predictions, based on, of course, the results that happened in game week 2. Let's just give you a quick roundup actually on what did happen in game week 2. So in game week 2, of course, game week 2's results saw Nottingham Forest beat Sheffield United 2-1. For Fulham beaten 3-0 by Brentford. Liverpool with that 3-1 win against Bournemouth. They went 1-0 down in the third minute, but came back to win 3-1. However, McAllister was sent off. Wolves beaten 4-1 by Brighton. Tottenham beaten United 2-0. City only just scraping a 1-0 win over Newcastle. 4-0 winners over Everton were Villa. West Ham beating Chelsea 3-1. And Arsenal with the 1-0 win to against Crystal Palace, which really didn't quite butter my taste buds enough, shall we say. So starting off then with the first game of the game week 2, it's Chelsea taking on Luton Town. Chelsea, well, they started well against Liverpool, I thought. They had an okay game against West Ham, but were quite comfortably beaten in the end. Luton may be a little bit disjointed because of the postponed game. Obviously, that's their fault. And obviously, in the 4-1 defeat to Brighton, they did not look too great. Now, Chelsea didn't look too great on Sunday either, but I don't want to be harsh against Luton in the early stages, but if I'm Chelsea, you've got to be beating them. You've got to be beating them. I don't think Chelsea will keep a clean sheet, but I do think Chelsea will win based on the fact that I haven't seen enough of Luton in the Premier League just yet to really say, well, they've got a chance against Chelsea, because I didn't even watch the Brighton-Luton game. And then they've just missed the game week, haven't they? It's hard to judge. And I know Chelsea got to the back of defeat. You might think, well, they're a bit wobbly, but I'm going to go with a 3-1 Chelsea win based on the facts and just based on purely enough that we've not seen enough of Luton yet. And the fact that I'd expect Chelsea to win against this calibre of team with the calibre of squad they have. Moving on then to Bournemouth v Spurs. Now at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, this game provided a right old cracker. I tell you, that game was right up my street. I did not watch it. I believe I was watching a Wolves game at the time that this game was being played, but it was an absolute cracker. 3-2 Bournemouth, from 1-0 down to 3-2. Absolutely incredible game that was. And I'm not surprised it's been selected for TV at all. It was a really cracking game. Now, Bournemouth, I think they'll start on the front foot, but I feel as though Spurs, this time around, will get themselves the 3 points, because they have started this season quite literally tremendously, Spurs. I think they've been one of the best to start this season so far, as they always do. But that 2-0 win against United, a lot of people were going, well, they got lucky. I thought they were emphatic in that game. I really did. I think they thoroughly deserved the win. They were energetic, and it's an Angira. And obviously, Spurs were defeated at home to Spurs last season. It was away that they won. So our Bournemouth expected to beat Spurs at home? No. Based on last season's facts, Spurs are expected to win against Bournemouth away, but are expected to lose against them at home. None of that matters to me, though. What matters to me is Tottenham, past 2 games, have been absolutely brilliant. Way, way above par. And the Ange Postecoglou era is starting brightly for the Spurs. So, look, I don't want to be harsh against Bournemouth, and I do think they'll stay up this season, as do I think Nottingham Forest and Fulham will. I reckon the 3 that were promoted, not last season, but the season before, to last season's Premier League, and stayed up as a hat-trick of promoted clubs, all 3 of those clubs will stay up again. That's what I'm saying. But this time around for Bournemouth, I do think it will be another 3-1 win for a London club, and it goes the way of Spurs because of how well they started this season. I wouldn't be saying that if Spurs lost to Man United and pretty much got used as a wet wipe for the floors by Brentford. I'd be saying Bournemouth win. Moving on then to Arsenal taking on Fulham. As you can tell, it's another home fixture for us. Hence why the Emirates Stadium is the background for this weekend. Of course, we've got the Arsenal colour. Now listen, it was a tight game this time around, but I feel as though Fulham haven't started the season well. I feel as though they've dropped off quite a little bit. That 3-0 defeat at home to Brentford really was quite ugly, if I'm honest. Now, our first 2 games have been ugly. I was very displeased with the 2-1 win over Forest. I was expecting 5-0 minimum. 2-1. Like, at least keep a clean sheet. Palace, Arsenal. I was happy with the win. I did think we were going to get a clean sheet, and I'm happy with a clean sheet. But I don't just want a clean sheet. I want at least 2-0 against Palace. I want either 2-0 or I want 3-1. You choose. 2-0, and we only won off a penalty. Would have been 0-0 or 1-0 Palace if we'd not scored that pen. We went down to 10 men, but it was a good one, that one. Tomiyasu, bye-bye. But I was displeased by that game for us. And I feel as though we're not in the best shape. But I feel as though Fulham aren't either. So I feel as though it'll finish Arsenal 3, Fulham 0. A rare home clean sheet. I shouldn't be saying the word rare about home clean sheets, but there you go. I'm saying the word rare. I'm going to say Arsenal 3, Fulham 0. Fulham didn't look good against Brentford. I was expecting a lot more from them against Brentford, and we didn't look good against Palace. I was expecting them a lot more from us against Palace. Now, clean sheet, happy days, but I would really be expecting 2-0 against Palace away. Different story at home, but at Selhurst Park, I'm expecting 2-0. I'm expecting to win, not off a penalty as well. So Arsenal 3, Fulham 0 is my prediction for our game this weekend. Moving on then to Brentford taking on Crystal Palace. I'm going for a bit of a spark moment where I keep predicting Palace to win 2-0, lose 2-0. I'm going to go for that again. Brentford, past 2 games, outstanding against Tottenham. Really, really positive, energetic. And then obviously in the 3-0 win against Fulham, from the 44th minute when they scored the goal, domination. And at home to Crystal Palace, I can't see why Brentford wouldn't dominate. Palace ain't all that. They ain't all that. Unless you're Sheffield United, who sit down on the floor and let yourselves get beat by everyone, then Palace is an easy challenge at home. And I feel as though Brentford will look at Palace and go, oh, this is a piece of cake. And it does look like a piece of cake on paper for Brentford. I don't think it'll be a wipage, but I do think that Brentford will dominate the game and get a 2-0 win. Visser and Mbeumo on the score sheets. Brentford 2, Crystal Palace 0. Everton then taking on Wolves. Now Everton have started the season quite badly, a -5 goal difference. So defeated 5-0 aggregate in the last 2 games against Fulham and Villa. I thought the Villa defeat was poor. I thought they got unlucky against Fulham, but against Villa, you can't be losing 4-0 to Villa. Nobody should be accepting that caliber of defeat. But Wolves, they played well against Man United. I thought that was one of Wolves' best performances that I've ever seen. Even that, and they should have had a penalty. They should have got points out of that game. Controversially 3, but definitely 1. I feel as though Everton, though, will be aggravated in a way which will rejuvenate them and give them energy. They'll almost win out of anger. I feel as though Everton will get the win against Wolves here. I think they'll get the job done. I reckon that anger will all come pouring out into goals, into a positive win. And they need that, Everton, to start the season. Goodison Park, they need to get that win. They need to get their season started because Everton have never been relegated from the Premier League before. And I'm sure they wouldn't want that to change. Now, they're going to get points deductions as far as I'm aware this season. And the best thing at Everton is to start getting points on the board. And I'm sure a few people will sit down and they will say, Everton are going to lose. Everton are going to get relegated. Now, I'm not saying Everton won't get relegated, but against Wolves, I don't think Everton are going to lose. I reckon Everton should quite comfortably beat Wolves. That's why Everton's first win of the season will be a 3-0 win against Wolves. Everton 3, Wolves 0. Now, Man United v Nottingham Forest. Well, Nottingham Forest have actually started the season quite well. They did not play too badly against us. And I felt as though in their win against Sheffield United, they were very positive in all areas and deserved the win absolutely thoroughly. I think that Nottingham Forest will score. However, I think that Man United will get their first win of the season. Second win of the season. Now, Man United have a very good record against Forest in all competitions, in all stadiums. I think Man United have got the best record out of any Premier League club against Forest. I think Forest will play well. But based on the record books, I've gone with a 3-1. I reckon that United will go 2-0 up. I reckon Forest will get a goal back. Maybe disallowed equaliser. And then icing on the cake for Man United, Rashford, or someone like that. And yet again, people will go, you're being harsh against Forest here, mate. Am I, though? The record books say that... I'll tell you what the record books say, actually. Let's see when the last time Forest beat United was. Let alone at Old Trafford. Well, dare I say it, the only win Forest has ever had against Man United, 1 win and 2 draws, 1 win, and that was at Old Trafford. So, this season, the odds are more for Forest to win at Old Trafford than at the City Ground, only based on the fact that their only win ever against United came at Old Trafford. Now, if I press this recent meetings button, I want to see when this 1 away win was. I want to know. It's not going to tell me, is it? It's not going to tell me. But the odds of Forest winning against Man United, based on the overall stats, out of 14 games, they've only won 1 and drawn 2, and United have beaten them 11 times. I wouldn't really put it against United to lose, to win. I would. For me, this is a win. Easy peasy for Man United. I think it'll be the first win. I think they'll be the second win of the season. I reckon they'll perform a bit better, and they need to. Manchester United, they're a Champions League club, and they've got to start showing that. So, United 3, Forest 1. Now, Brighton versus West Ham. Both of these two teams have started the season very, very well. If you're looking at the league table, Brighton have won their opening 2 games of a aggregate scoreline of 8-2, 4-1 wins, leaving them on a +6 goal difference and 6 points. So they're 2 above City on goal difference. And I've gone for a similar result. West Ham, if we go to the Hammers, West Ham haven't started the season too badly either. Getting a point against Bournemouth in a 1-1 draw. And then obviously that 3-1 win against Chelsea. Now, neither of these two have kept a clean sheet yet this season, but both have got positive goal differences, and both have got more than 3 points on the board. So it is going to be a tough old challenge, but when you look at the history between these two, it quite clearly shows that Brighton almost dominate this fixture in wins. 6 wins to 3, 6 draws and 15 fixtures played. Now, the last 5 fixtures have finished 2 1-1 draws, a 3-1 win for Brighton, then a 2-0 win for Brighton, and then a 4-0 win for Brighton. And yeah, you can look at the form guides and go, well, West Ham have actually got, well, if you're looking at it, most of it's pre-season, but if you're looking at it on a basis of points or whatever, then West Ham have got more points, haven't they? 4 wins, 1 draw, 3 wins, draw, loss for Brighton. That don't matter to me. What matters to me is the Premier League form. And if I look here, I can see Fiorentina, Perth Glory. I don't think that Spurs win was Premier League. So none of those wins are irrelevant. So same for Brighton, really. Well, actually, no, the summer series does count. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. I think they lost to Newcastle. They beat Brentford, though, in the summer series. So there you go. So those count. Rio, that doesn't count. Luton, though, 4-1. Excellent result. Again, 4-1 against Wolves. Consistency, +6 goal difference, top of the league. And I say top of the league beats the team who nearly got relegated last season. And I'm sorry to say it, West Ham fans, you're going to kill me for this, but history is repeating itself. I'm going to say another 4-0 win for Brighton here at the Amex. I think Brighton will dominate, and I do think this will be West Ham's first defeat of the season. And I believe, based on the table, after your 3-1 win, that will take all of your positive goal difference away and will put you in a -2 back to old ways for West Ham, dare I say. Let's move on then to Super Sunday's fixtures. Burnley are taking on Aston Villa, and I've had to think very carefully about this one. Now, Villa, came against the Everton side who were very weak coming into that fixture. However, that 5-1 defeat to Newcastle was absolutely embarrassing. And I'm not going to put it, because Burnley against City is against City, right? There you go. It's against City. You can't judge a team of how they play against City. You can, however, judge a team of how they play against Villa. And I like Burnley. That's why I'm going to give them a chance. I don't think you can just say, well, Burnley are rubbish because they lost 3-0 at home to City. it's hard beating Man City, especially if you're a side who's just been promoted to the Premier League. Yeah, I know. Brentford beat them at the Etihad. I know. Brentford doubled them. Well, Brentford have never been in the Premier League before now, but Brentford did it. Well, Brentford are Brentford. Brentford are special. Burnley are special, but they're in their own way. But take Burnley against Aston Villa at Turf Moor. I think Burnley got a chance at winning. And Burnley aren't a bad side. So I think it's going to be a second away defeat in a row for Villa. I'm not going to say it's going to be heavy, but I'm going to go Burnley 1, Villa 0. Burnley 1, Villa 0. Sheffield United versus Man City. United, all I can say about them is they have looked the worst in the way they've played at the start of this season. And Sheffield United against City, it's got 3-0 written all over it. And you can't even say I'm wrong. 3-0 written all over it. There you go. Jobs are good. And City will be cruising away onto a +7 goal difference with that win. And finally, to finish off the weekend, Newcastle are taking on Liverpool. And I'm going to go 3-1 to Newcastle. Why? Because Liverpool do not look like they have changed. And I believe that this season, Newcastle are ready to beat them. Now, Liverpool got very lucky and doubled Newcastle. This season, ain't happening. Ain't happening. No way are Newcastle going to repeat their mistakes against Liverpool last season. It was embarrassing, I am sure, for Newcastle fans to be losing to Liverpool out of all teams at home last season. And away. Now, I feel at St James's Park, they were very positive, Newcastle. Very positive. On the front foot. Bright, scoring goals. Tonali looks brilliant. Isak on fire. And Liverpool's midfield still isn't fixed. And I don't think I think the midfield's worse. And I don't think that midfield is beating a Newcastle side. So, to round off the weekend, dare I say it, Liverpool fans are going to kill me for this in the comments. You watch when this premieres. All the Liverpool fans are being there. Why? Why, Tom? Why? Because you guys are rubbish. And Newcastle ain't. Newcastle 3, Liverpool 1. And that, my good friends, rounds off this weekend's Premier League predictions for Premier League Game Week 3. Hope you all enjoyed the video. Get your predictions down below in the chat. Liverpool fans, don't cry too much. And hopefully we win. Just a quick one on. I'm going to very quickly round up what we're doing this weekend. So Chelsea Luton on Friday, 7:45 start, 8 o'clock kickoff, which is I should say today, because it will premiere on Friday, which is tomorrow, right at the time of recording. So today, look at the time of recording, it's tomorrow, but when you're seeing this, it's today. So today, Chelsea Luton 8 o'clock, 7:45 start. Bournemouth v Spurs at 12:15 for the 12:30 kickoff. Arsenal v Fulham on Saturday, 3 p.m. 2:45 start. And Brighton v West Ham 5:15 for the 5:30 kickoff. And then Super Sunday, we're doing Sheffield United v Man City. We're starting at 1:45. And what time's kickoff? 2 o'clock. There you go. To round it all off as well, 4:30. We start at 4:15. Newcastle v Liverpool, cracker of the weekend. And that's it. Thank you very much for watching. And have a lovely rest of your Friday tea time. If you eat at 5 o'clock, have a lovely rest of your Friday tea time. And obviously, at the time when you're viewing this, I will see you at 7:45. All right, folks. Bye-bye.